Hello everyone, I am MC for today's forum, Park Song-hye. We sincerely thank all of you for joining us in the 2020 오산글로벌 Lifelong Learning Forum.
마스크를 잠시 내려놓았습니다. 여러분의 넓은 양해 부탁드립니다. 바쁘신 가운데 이렇게 2020 오산글로벌 평생학습 포럼에 함께해 주신 여러분께 진심으로
Before we begin today's event, to celebrate the 2020 Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum, we have prepared a Korean traditional performance called 사물놀이.
겨울마당에서 사물놀이를
The title of today's performance is 사물 판굿, representing the beauty of a Korean tradition with a beautiful dance, powerful instrument performance, and 상모. Please enjoy this great performance. Thank you very much. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Osan City 풀문 올마당 Learning Club, who made a great opening with the exciting 사물놀이. Under the theme of the pioneering an unexplored path towards eco-friendly green learning cities in the post-COVID-19 era, this Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum is being hosted by the National Council of Lifelong Learning Cities, the Korea Commission for UNESCO, and the UIL, and organized and held by the UNESCO Learning City Osan. In addition, this conference is being sponsored by the National Institute for Lifelong Education, the Korea Federation of Lifelong Education.
To grace this event, many distinguished guests are here with us. Now I'd like to introduce the VIPs to you. First up, as an organizer, Chairman Moon Seok-jin, Korea Association of Lifelong Learning Cities is here with us this evening.
하셨습니다.
And Secretary General Kim Kwang-ho, Korean National Commission for UNESCO, is presenting. And as a sponsor, President Yoon Yeog-ak, the National Institute for Lifelong Education, is here with us as well. And organizer and host, Osan City Mayor Kwak Sang-wook is here with us. And as a vice chair of UIL Governing Board, Professor Cheon-sil is here with us, and she will be a moderator of the main event. This forum is a result of a cooperation of domestic and international institutions and cities around the world. And many international city mayors and the head of institutions who are making a great dedication to this forum are joining us online. I'd like to introduce them to you. First up, as a co-host, Director of UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning, David Artuchuarena is joining us online. And Thailand City Chiang Rai City Mayor Wanchai Chongsun Atamani and City Council Chairperson and Dr. Alan are joining online. Next up, Iran City Kashan City Mayor Said Avri Shama Dillard is joining us online. And Argentina Villa Maria City Mayor and the city official Gabriel Yos is joining us online. And three mayors of learning cities of Gumi City, Songpago City, and Yeonsu-gu City also join us online. Let's exchange greetings.
So from now on, Mayor Kwak Sang-wook of Osan City will declare the opening of 2020 Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum. First, Mr. Kwak Sang-wook is going to deliver his opening speech. It's great to see you all. I'm Kwak Sang-wook, Mayor of Osan City. First of all, we are witnessing COVID pandemic is sweeping again here in Korea. Today's occasion is being held as a webinar forum in a non-face-to-face manner with strict compliance with the quarantine guidelines. Only a minimum number of cast members are physically present here. In that sense, I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to Mr. Moon Seok-jin, chairperson of Korea Association of Lifelong Learning Cities, and Mr. Kim Kwang-ho, Secretary General of Korea National Commission for UNESCO, and Mr. David Arena, Director of UIL. Today, we have distinguished guests, mayors from different cities, and other lifelong learning cities who are joining with us today. Thank you very much for being with us today. Today, I hope you will explore the concept of a green learning city and get some implications for the direction to move forward as a green learning city. Then, let's just start the 2020 Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum webinar.
하겠습니다.
And next up, Chairman Moon Seok-jin, National Association of Lifelong Learning Cities, will deliver welcoming speech. Hello, everyone. I am Moon Seok-jin, Chairman of Korean Association of Lifelong Learning Cities and the Seodaemungu City Mayor. I think it is very meaningful to have this forum in the city of Osan, which is the GNLC coordinator city. As you are well aware, we are having web seminar. Because of COVID-19, we are not able to have the conventional face-to-face meeting anymore. Transition to the online was unthinkable in the past, but it has become our daily lives these days. In the run-up to the post-COVID-19 era, many social changes are happening across the world. Coronavirus is sweeping the world. Confirmed cases exceeded 20 million across the world. Despite of all the difficulties, the Korean system of disease control is getting popularity as called K-quarantine. But again, here in Korea, we are witnessing increasing number of confirmed cases, but it's too early to be devastated. Just like COVID-19, to fight against the global issue, we need to work together. We need to collect our wisdoms. If we are using collective intelligence, then we are able to identify problems and suggest a preventive measure. Then we can bring an end to the coronavirus pandemic. From the perspective, I believe this occasion is very meaningful. Today, we are here to discuss future plan of green learning cities. All the cities who are participating in this forum can exchange and learn from each other. Then we will be able to make a better response to global crisis like COVID-19. After the coronavirus, we may face many other challenges and difficulties. One of the good examples is climate change. At the UN, the World Meteorological Organization warned that the average global temperature will go up by 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2024. Just like that, Korea, during the last summer, went through the unprecedentedly long rainy season and the serious heat waves. Just like warnings of experts, we are experiencing the problems caused by the global warming. Another concern is the drop in the jobs. Due to the AI and the technical development, the jobs for the human being have been dramatically cut. The part-timers at the fast food have been replaced by the kiosk. Instead of hiring tens of employees, companies are introducing artificial intelligence. It is not only limited to a single country or single city, it is a global issue. Human beings have been navigating through many difficulties, but we always overcome it. If we accumulate the experiences and know-how of each other, then I think we can overcome this crisis as well. 174 GNLC member cities of 55 countries are here for this forum. I sincerely wish this will be a great platform to lay the foundation for information sharing and mutual cooperation. On that note, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to Director David Acho Arena of UIL and Professor the President Yoon Yogak of National Institute for Lifelong Education and Professor Choi Eun-sil and Osan City Mayor Kwak Sang-woo for your hard work. Thank you very much.
감사합니다.
Once he is connected, we are going to have some time to listen to his welcoming remarks.
Good evening. I am Secretary General Kim Kwang-ho of Korean Commission for UNESCO. First of all, congratulations on the hosting 2020 GNLC Osan Forum. I sincerely welcome all the participants who are joining us on and offline. City is a place for people are living in. And UNESCO decided to have an agency for the lifelong learning, and they decided to support the GNLC. I believe that is significant. And the GNLC has played an important role in promoting lifelong learning activities in the world. In particular, Korea has the largest number of GNLC member cities in the world, and 3 out of 7 cluster coordinator cities are Korean. Among many, the Osan City has been showing exemplary activities, and Osan City has been selected as well-being and health coordinator city, and they are hosting this great webinar. I believe it is timely and meaningful to have this webinar against all the backdrop. We are living in the uncertainty and the global crisis because of the COVID-19. I believe and sincerely wish this forum will be a meaningful stepping stone to enhance the city's capacity for the lifelong learning. As a GNLC's domestic governing body, UNESCO's Korean Committee will work together with UIL and many other related agencies. We are making all our supports for the all related players to carry out their activities. We will continue our efforts against the COVID-19. We are recognizing how deeply we are connected each other. I sincerely wish all the participants and their family members be healthy and navigate through this crisis with their wisdom. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your nice remarks. Now we are going to invite Mr. Yoon Young-ak, President of the Nile, for his welcoming remarks. Distinguished delegates and participants from the UNESCO learning cities and education experts, practitioners, and other distinguished guests who are with us today. Hello, everyone. I'm Yoon Young-ak, President of the Nile. I'm sure that we will solve the corona pandemic crisis. In that process, I believe it's time to think of our future, including COVID-19. One of them is to expand the concept of a green learning city. In that sense, this year's 2020 Osanglobal Lifelong Learning Forum is very meaningful. That's why I am delivering this welcoming remark to you. I truly welcome all of you to this forum. And I'd like to extend my appreciation to Mayor Kwak Sang-wook and other people who are involved for bringing together this event. So far, our thoughts and practices have been centered on humans. We have not considered other creatures like animals or inanimate beings. We have ignored such claims. And as a consequence, we are seeing a serious environmental impact that may change the human life at all. And one of the results is COVID-19 pandemic. UNESCO has been firmly focused on thinking and practicing in a way that enables sustainable development in the global perspective. Now we are coming up with more detailed implementation solutions. Osan City became a coordinating city for a healthy and well-being cluster. I believe it is time for the people of Osan City as well as everyone else in the Republic of Korea to participate in discussing the development of a green learning city in pursuit of health and well-being. We need to become global citizens. We need to be part of the world. Through today's forum, we may have a valuable time to take stock of the current status of green lifelong learning city. Now, people are talking about the concept of new normal, the definition of a new normal. Post-corona era will require a new normal. However, that should be based on our soul searching, and this forum will provide a good opportunity to that end. I will be also an active member in this forum to think of our valuable future with you. And your active participation will be appreciated as well. Once again, I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all the participants who are with us today despite your busy schedule. Thank you very much.
Thank you for President Uil영어통역. Please give him another round of applause. Next up, Chairman Jang In-soo of Osan City Council will deliver congratulatory speech. Hello everyone, I am Jang In-soo, Chairman of the Osan City Council. As the coronavirus is sweeping the world and causing huge turmoil to humankind, against this backdrop, we are having this forum in the city of Osan. I think that's very timely and lucky. And we are here to talk about the new paradigm of the 21st century. So on behalf of 240,000 Osan citizens, congratulations on the hosting of this event. Since the city was selected as a lifelong learning city in 2015, Osan City and City Council and Education Support Office, academia, and citizens have all become united to discuss how to be a lifelong learning city. As a result, we have developed and operated various lifelong learning programs, just like centenary and civic colleges, and it has enriched the lives of citizens and developed the local communities. The Lifelong Learning City is a comprehensive urban restructuring campaign that promotes the construction of a common learning community to enhance the quality of life of individuals as well as improve the competitiveness of the entire city. However, in the fourth industrial revolution of the 21st century, information sharing and communication goes beyond the national territory and becoming global network. From this perspective, this forum will be a great opportunity to exchange many cases and quality informations across the world. This is time for us to think about the post-coronavirus era. To minimize the spread of the virus, non-face-to-face environment will be essential part of education. And based on the various learning networking, we need to create some learning environment for everyone can take part in, regardless of their age. And even though the learners and instructors are not meeting each other, they should be able to make a two-way communications and exchange their data. To create such kind of environment will be the big frame for the future lifelong learning environment. So we will share many best practices and success cases online. So it will be a great foundation for the lifelong learning education via the digital environment. I sincerely hope this will be an opportunity for the global lifelong learning city to grow further. Last but not least, I'd like to deliver my sincere thanks to City Mayor and many other officials. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Jang In-soo, for your great remarks. So we have
listened to the welcoming and congratulatory speech. And this forum is very meaningful as UNESCO network of lifelong learning cities get together to exchange responses and visions as green learning cities in the coronavirus era. To explore further, I'd like to hand over microphone to a professor and vice chair of UIL governing body, Cheun-sil. She will be a moderator of the main event. Thank you very much. Please understand that, poor connections. Many officials who are joining us online are connecting again on the Google Meet and YouTube. Please understand that. Again, I am the Vice Chair Cheun-sil of UIL Governing Board. So the topic of today's event is pioneering an unexplored path towards eco-friendly green learning cities. Under that theme, we are exchanging our cases and some policies. I think it's the first event of its case. And so first of all, I'd like to introduce you the hosting city of Osan. They will make the first presentation. Please go on.
Hello everyone. Health, Wellbeing and Green Lifelong Learning City, Osan. I'm Kwak Sang, Mayor of Osan City. Osan is a young city with a population of 230,000 people and the average age of its population is 36. It's an eco-city, education city, and green learning city. I have prepared a short video clip for your better understanding of the city, Osan. A 15,000-year-old legend of three kingdoms breathes alive. To protect freedom and peace in the Republic of Korea, the first UN combat site was changed into a peace park after 20 years of Korean War. This is Osan, a small city in Korea. Osancheon is the oasis of this city. This is beautiful. In 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, every season all the friends come to Osancheon. Among them, here's a special friend who returns to the clear Osan stream. He is my special friend, Mr. Otter. Oasis is beautiful. It's a fountain of life. And now the beautiful oasis along the clear water path in the people's heart, it flows. Books, exhibitions, instruments, and performances. A dream in which art and culture bloom in different spaces. The age of 100 years, a dream of getting the education you want anytime, anywhere. To help our community, we want to share our talent. That's the dream we dream. I love learning. Teaching satisfies our curiosity. Let's learn and help others with the knowledge. A dream of learning with a warm heart and donating to one's neighbors. And with the global neighbors, we share this dream of Osan. A blue canvas containing dreams for the future. The whole village school. Healthy green learning city where nature breathes. It is Green Learning City, Osan. Now the entire world is suffering from COVID-19 pandemic. This is one of the reasons why UNESCO has continued to focus on importance of sustainable development. Sustainable development is to commit and practice balance and harmony between humans and nature. Green Learning City is not a new concept. Green Learning City is connected with the Sustainable Development Goal, so-called SDG, we already know. The advent of a dangerous society due to coronavirus is related to SDG 13's response to climate change, and our GNLC member cities are involved in SDG 4, which is education and learning for all. And it is also related to SDG 3, health and well-being, which is the main theme of the GNLC cluster. Osan City is the coordinator of the GNLC cluster. SDG 3 embraces the will to ensure a healthy life for all age groups. This also means that we must pursue the health and well-being of all individuals through lifelong learning. However, an individual's health and well-being are not irrelevant to the communities and global environment in which he or she lives. In the past, health and well-being were important at an individual level only to tackle, for instance, hunger and disease. However, in the present era of advanced medical technology, the health and well-being of the global environment must be importantly considered. At the local level, green learning cities should be pursued, and at the local level, sustainable development should be sought for as well. Health and well-being cannot be separated at any level. Personal health and well-being affects the entire environment of the community and the planet, and vice versa. Only when we make a virtuous cycle from which all the stakeholders benefit, we will be able to realize the true development of individuals, communities, and the world. In this way, we will be able to ultimately achieve sustainable development. Then from now on, let's have some time to better understand the concept of a health and well-being green learning city through representative examples in Osan. Experiencing the COVID-19 pandemic crisis, I have thought of how the lifelong learning city can act and serve to resolve the current issues. The solution will be that we make solutions together. One example is Dasum mask. I cannot explain all the details. So today, I have invited some honorable Osan citizens to listen to their stories. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Hae-sun, a lifelong learning instructor who teaches home fashion and upcycling. I taught the citizens on how to make Dasum mask. They receive Dasum mask making kits, and they learn how to produce masks. They produce 2 masks, and one is for them, and the other one is for the underprivileged. They can practice what they learned, and they can feel the power of the community learning center. It was a very rewarding experience. Hello everyone, I'm Ounsu. I have a physical disability. When masks are in short supply, I could not go to buy a mask because I had difficulty moving around. However, thanks to the Dasum masks made by Osan citizens, I was able to keep my house from coronavirus. I heard that it was named Dasum mask because it means a mask that shares warm breath. I think it's a good name. Osan has been selected as a lifelong learning city for the disabled. I hope Osan will continue to work hard for the lifelong learning for the disabled. I think Dasum mask is a very representative and excellent example of how lifelong learning can help citizens overcome and cope with ecological and environmental crises such as COVID-19. It was possible thanks to active participation of citizens in Osan. In Osan City, course, we need community centers and we need to cut down on the greenhouse gas emissions. And there are many citizens being involved in the lifelong learning program. How was that possible? Because of innovation of space and the sharing of space. Hello, everyone. I'm running a workshop called The World of Decorating with the Hands. I'm Uil영이. I'm a space owner who helps to use this workshop as a 징검다리 class. It is a so-called stepping stone class. At first, I joined the project after hearing from citizens who couldn't learn because they didn't have enough space, and I decided to provide my workshop as a learning space. The person next to me told me about this class. She is the teacher of civic activists and a manager of 징검다리 class. Hello, I'm Kim Hyun-ji, a manager who has been monitoring the 징검다리 class for the past 3 years. Currently, Osan City operates more than 200 징검다리 classes. I'm a manager who connects the stepping stone classes to the citizens. I meet with the space owners, communicate with them, monitor the sites, and find new 징검다리 classes. I have seen no other examples of other large-scale areas with citizen participation, service, and city support systems like 징검다리 classes in Osan. 징검다리 class has been realized by applying the concept of shared economy to space. And that is a project by citizens, and that does not require a huge amount of budget. However, we can share lifelong learning spaces. What a warm space it is. This is collaboration is one of the buzzwords. We have exemplary cases in Osan as well, which is called Osan Craft. Together with the Osan Health Center, we make collaborations and let's meet some people who are related in the project. I'm Hong Jo-ah, working as a health manager at the Osan Health Center. The Osan City Health Center said that the civic activists were needed to spread the health culture. However, fostering the civic activists through education is not a health center's specialty or job. That is why I was asked to collaborate with the Department of Lifelong Education. Through this collaboration project with the Public Health Center, there are many active projects going on. Hello everyone, my name is Kang Mira. I work for Regional Council for Osancheon Salvation Project. Osan Stream, which is now the pride of Osan City, used to be shunned by citizens because of its bad smell. However, thanks to the constant efforts of Osan, the water quality has been improved enough for others to live. And it is a representative resting place for Osan citizens. This Osan Stream should be known better to the Osan cities. So together with the other projects, we started the Stream Academy, a new project. The teachers of civic ecology activists who were trained through the Hacheon, the Stream Academy, are organized into learning clubs. So, Osan is promoting citizens' health and well-being through learning based on cooperation and collaboration in various fields. We work on various fields to make an eco-friendly environment. So, the project Osan Craft is providing a great place and program for lifelong learning that generates new jobs, and through the talent donation, it makes great contributions to the development of the local communities. And We have many senior citizens over 50 years old. For those senior citizens, we have another program that is a 2-year program, which is called an exclamation school. Seniors can take care of their life and health and well-being through this school program. Hello everyone. I'm Choi Chunu, a graduate student at the exclamation mark school. I met this school while I was after I retired from my job. Through the school program, I made friends and went on a picnic, and it felt like I went back to my school days again. After I graduated from the school, now I'm attending the graduate school of the exclamation mark school. After thinking about what I can do for the community, I'm doing talent donation activities to teach Hangul, Korean alphabets, and math to the elderly. So after his retirement, he has pioneered the second life. His second life is great to see. The teachers of exclamation mark school serve as leaders for the community, and every year, if there are about 2,000 graduates of this school, I believe that Osan will be one of the most happiest cities in the world. Through this kind of lifelong learning programs, Osan is becoming a true green learning city. I hope that you can now better understand the green learning city Osan through this presentation. Learning is powerful. Learning can change a single person. Learning can change a city or community. And learning can also change the entire world. This is what we, Green Learning City Osan, is about. Osan is being improved. It is evolving. Thank you very much. I am Mayor of Osan, Park Sang-ho. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Well-being and health green learning cities has been led by Osan City, and Osan City has delivered what kind of activities they have been made by the citizens and the participants of the program. As listening to the real stories of our citizens, we can understand that Osan City itself is a big school. It is really touching us. Next up, the GNLC Health Wellbeing Coordinator City, Irish City Cork, will make a presentation. In the general meeting of 2017 was organized by Cork, and they were the winner of the grand prize. The Lord Mayor sent us the videos, which includes presentations and greetings. Actually, he joins us online. On behalf of the Lord Mayor, official William McLaughlin, and another officials join us online, but because of the poor connection of the online, even though they are connected to the YouTube, we cannot show you them. So as I mentioned earlier, we have prepared some videos. Let's watch the video of the Irish city of Cork.
Greetings from Cork City in Ireland. As Lord Mayor of Cork, I would like to reconfirm our commitment to work with our partner organisations to ensure the sustainable development of our city for the benefit of all our citizens now and into the future. The challenges faced by cities around the world in 2020 has brought into sharp focus the importance of our actions in order to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. In all our efforts, we remember the African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We welcome the opportunity in this conference to explore how we can travel the road towards the global goals together with you. Thank you.
Cork is a UNESCO award-winning learning city since 2015, and we were honoured to be selected to host the 3rd International Conference on Learning Cities by UNESCO in 2017. The outcome document from the conference, the UNESCO Cork Call to Action on Learning Cities, is framed under the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. It calls on cities to become more green and healthy, equitable and inclusive, and to promote decent work and entrepreneurship. And our city has been committed to implementing these 3 policy pillars ever since. Our Learning City development is built on a partnership between our City Council, our Regional Education and Training Board, and our city's 2 universities, Cork Institute of Technology and University College Cork, all working with many statutory, civic and community partners. As a city committed to becoming more green and sustainable, Cork has developed many examples of good practice, and today we feature one of them for this presentation, University College Cork's Green Campus.
UCC was the first university in the world to be awarded a green flag from the Foundation for Environmental Education. UCC students were inspired by the Green Flag programme run by An Taisce in primary and secondary schools throughout Ireland.
The best part of Green Campus is that I have the opportunity to represent the student voice and to give students a platform.
So to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, we invited local students from primary and secondary schools across Cork, city and county to come onto campus and see some of the projects that we're doing.
The reason I wanted to be in the Green School Committee in my school is because I wanted to do my bit to slow down climate change.
At the moment, humans are having a huge impact on our environment.
The issues come from a deep systemic unwillingness to change.
We can all do our bit, like how UCC have done phenomenal work over the last 10 years and got their green flags as a result of tireless work for the environment. Everyone has a responsibility to look after our planet, and small changes can make a big difference.
One small person making a single small change might seem insignificant, but if 7 billion people have the same idea, then we're going somewhere.
I wish that we, as a city, lead the way for change in Ireland.
As Gandhi so eloquently put it, be the change that you wish to see in the world.
Because we only have one planet, one climate, and only one future.
You've expressed your wishes. Our responsibility is to help you live those wishes. The mission of our Green Campus is very simple. It's about students telling us, challenging us, informing us, and actually trying new things.
And UCC is committed to delivering that vision for their future in the next 10 years.
Cork is committed to working with the UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning and its global network of learning cities. We're open to connecting with cities around the world to share, to learn, and to develop together. In the video today, you heard the voices of children, a most important voice, as our children are our future, and it is vital that we work between the generations for the development of our cities. We want to thank our friends in the city of Osan and in Korea for the opportunity to join with you today. We are all working together for the sustainable development of our world.
네, 잘 보셨습니다.
Thank you very much. Osan City is a coordinator city together with the Cork Island, together with the 38 member cities, health, well-being, and green learning cities. We are together working on this topic. And Dr. Janice from the island Cook. Okay, actually he had sent the video clips 4 times, and she received the remarks of the mayor. He has made a great effort for today's event, which was very touching. However, anyway, today's connection is not very stable. Your kind understanding will be appreciated. And William, Chair William, he's now with us today. Actually, he has joined about 1 hour ago. However, because of unstable connection, we cannot listen to his voice. Very sorry about this. However, at the end of this conference, this forum, we will upload the recorded video, a clip for today's forum, to the UNESCO site so that it can be shared worldwide. Many people said that they want to share the VCR. And now I'd like to invite Mr. David Ashwarina, Director of UIL, and he is going to make a presentation on the global trends of the UNESCO Learning City. Let me connect him.
Mr. Gwak Sangwok, Mayor of the City of Osan. Mr. Moon Seok-jin, Chairperson of the Korean Association of Lifelong Learning Cities. Mr. Kim Gwang-jo, Secretary General of the Korean National Commission for UNESCO. Mr. Yoon Yo-kak, President of the National Institute for Lifelong Education. Mr. Jung In-soo, Chairperson of the Osan City Council. Mrs. Choi Eun-sil, Vice Chair of the UL Governing Board, dear mayors, members of the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, dear colleagues in the Republic of Korea and in many other learning cities around the globe, good afternoon. Let me start by warmly thanking the city of Osan, the Korean Association of Lifelong Learning Cities, and the Korean National Commission for UNESCO for initiating this event. It is a great pleasure to collaborate with all of you for this webinar, which will contribute to knowledge sharing within the global network of learning cities and beyond. I'd like to recall that it was in October last year that a first thematic session on green and healthy learning cities took place during the International Conference on Learning Cities in Medellin, in Colombia. It was also during that conference that the Global Network made a decision to focus its activity around topics identified as priority areas by member cities. And as you can see on the slide, we have 7 topics which really provide the frame for the activities of the network. One on the education for sustainable development, educational planning, entrepreneurship, equity and inclusion, global citizenship education, literacy, and of course, health and well-being. It was actually acknowledged as a priority by the members of the network, and the city of Osan kindly accepted the role of coordinating city for this cluster jointly with the city of Cork in Ireland. Now, what are really the expected outcomes for the strategy of the network around those 7 areas? And where do we stand today in terms of implementation? Well, the first really objective was to document good practices. So in the 7 areas, there are research activities being conducted to actually document the innovations, the achievements of the members of the cities, members of the cluster in each of the areas. Sharing experiences is also a very important dimension of those clusters, and today with this webinar we have a very good example of how sharing experiences can take place. And finally, it was also about developing tools for capacity building, for policy making, for evaluation, to reinforce really the capacities and improve the policy developments in the learning cities for each of those thematic areas. Now, where do we stand in terms of the implementation of this strategy? Of course, this year, and I will touch upon this immediately, but a lot of the focus of the network has been placed on the responses that learning cities have been actually developing against to cope with the COVID-19 crisis. Milestones for the thematic clusters, however, included two important meetings. One is a meeting of the Learning for Health and Wellbeing cluster that will be hosted by the City of Cork in October this year. And then we also have another important meeting on the global citizenship education that will be organized by the city of Larissa in November this year. There are other meetings being organized by the other clusters to actually finalize the work plan and agree on the activities that will be conducted later this year and next year. As I indicated, a lot of the attention and efforts of the learning cities this year have been placed on really responding to the COVID-19 crisis. And it is in that context that UIL organized a series of webinars focusing on this topic between March and June of this year. And I'd like to share with you some of the lessons that we learned from the experiences of the learning cities in the context of the COVID-19. The first one is protecting the most vulnerable population. And this is something that actually emerged really as a very important requirement, considering that the use of distance education and technology was, a risk also involved a risk of putting disadvantaged groups even at a more, I would say, disadvantaged position. So protection is maybe the first, requirement that came out of this, series of webinars. The other element relates to the link between education and other dimensions of people's life, in particular health, food, employment, and again, the nature and the responsibilities of the cities place them in a very good position to make those connections between education and other aspects which are key to really people's behavior and people's well-being. The importance of culture also appeared as a very important dimension, in particular to restore the social links that were very much affected due to the lockdown. The importance of planning also to ensure really that all interventions are well connected. So this is something that, again, appeared as a very important lesson. And here I'd like to relate also to the work being done by the thematic cluster on planning, which is about to produce some, evidence about this dimension in the context of COVID-19. And finally, the importance of multi-sectoral, partnerships and collaboration, not only with in the education sector, but again, linking education and the education stakeholders with other stakeholders in other sectors. Finally, I'd like to indicate, what's next in terms of the way forward. We are going to have next year, in fact, the 5th International Conference on Learning Cities, and it is at that conference that we will have a discussion about the outcomes of the work of the 7 thematic clusters. Because of the current situation, the decision was made to focus really this conference on the theme Global Health for Education and Emergency Response. So that will be the overall really theme for this conference. And we just issued a few weeks ago a call for applications for members of the network that would like to actually host this next conference. Again, I'd like to thank the city of Osan, but also all the other cities of the network that have agreed to play this very important role of thematic coordinator for the 7 thematic clusters. And we are very much looking forward to reviewing the progress made in all of the 7 areas by the end of the year, so that we can really redirect and amplify the activities in 2021, looking forward towards the 5th International Conference. Thank you very much.
네.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation that was delivered by Director Acho Arena of UIL. He shares the trend of UIL and what have been happened and what is the plan for the next year. He have made a very powerful and detailed presentation. Thank you for your presentation. Again, Osan City is a health well-being green learning city coordinator city. And Island City of Cork is working as co-coordinating city. Last October, Medellin, Colombia was the place where we are having the 4th International Conference on Learning Cities. In that meeting, 7 clusters were formed, and the 7th cluster is health and well-being. And Ireland, Cork, and the Republic of Korea, Osan, have been selected as the common coordinator. David mentioned that everything had been translated into Korean and English, and the people who are participating in this forum, in this arena, then you can listen to the interpretation via the device. So what our director mentioned that how we can enhance the health, well-being, and jobs for the minority who have the biggest difficulties because of the COVID-19. And it will be a very fundamental foundations to shape the future. At the end of this year, Cork City is planning to have a global webinar for this cluster theme. And Osan is taking the leadership and Island will follow. And around the end of this year, the global city cluster, which is led by one Greek city, will have another webinar. And next year, we will have the 5th global green learning cities, and the application will be closed by October 15th. I understand some of Korean cities are applying for that event. And the topic that we are talking about, how we can protect our health and enhance the quality of lives in the face of the crisis. So while we are talking about that, it will be a starting point for us to work forwards for the better future. So the director, David, talked about that topic and presentation. And now I'd like to introduce you the UIL program specialist, Konstantinos. Let's listen to his presentation. Mr. Konstantinos, please start your presentation.
네.
Hello, good evening, dear colleagues, dear experts, and distinguished participants of this event today. I hope you can all listen and see me clearly. My name is Konstantinos Pagratis, and I would like to present today the global trends of UNESCO Health and Wellbeing cluster cities. And this is very much related to what previous our director, Mr. David Achoarena, mentioned in relation to the work of UNESCO Institute of Lifelong Learning and the 7 thematic areas of work. Let me introduce you with a second slide on the Learning for Health and Well-being cluster, which is currently coordinated by the cities of Osan from the Republic of Korea, but also the city of Cork in Ireland. And this is a follow-up of the 4th International Conference on Learning City that took place last year in Colombia. The cluster is currently comprised of 32 member cities from all over the world, including 7 cities from Korea, but also a lot of cities from Latin America and the Caribbean, Europe and Arab states. So you can understand how the diversity of the cluster and how many cities are also participating in order to share the experiences and their best practices. GLNC, these 32 member cities, as mentioned, they are working towards the realization of the work plan, which is based on the UNESCO GLNC strategy, and this work will be presented with the 5th International Conference on learning cities, which is going to take place next autumn in 2021. Now, what exactly are we doing in this cluster, and what cities are doing in this cluster? At the moment, we have managed to finalize the questionnaire in order to ask the cities to share their experiences with us, but also with the 2 coordinator cities. So what is exactly what we mean by that, and what is the questionnaire entails? First of all, I would like to inform you that the questionnaire is in 3 different languages. That means we have the questionnaire ready in English, French, and Spanish, and this will be sent in the first half of September to the cluster members of to the cities of the clusters, to the cities of the cluster on learning and health and well-being. So there, we're looking for best practices, we're looking for the interests of the cities, and to see what is particularly the challenge that they are facing. We're looking at initiatives in terms of strategies, what kind of strategies they're implementing, but also in terms of leadership, what kind of organizations or city actors are taking the leadership in the field of learning for health and well-being. This work will serve as a point for further coordination within the cluster of learning on health and well-being. And of course, this work will also be supported, to be honest, by the first meeting that the city of Cork from Ireland is organizing this October. The date is yet to be confirmed. And during this meeting, this is going to be the first official meeting of the cluster. And during this meeting, again, we're going to discuss, but also see what the cities are doing in the field of and what kind of challenges the cities are facing in the field of learning for health and well-being. As you know, the first year of the cluster work is coordinated by the city of Cork, and the second year is coordinated by the city of Osan. So next year, before the 5th International Conference on Learning Cities, a second meeting is going to take place, this time led by the city of Osan. Finally, I would like to share with you one case study from the Learning City, from the UNESCO Global Network of Learning City member. It's the city of Swansea, and the Health and Wellbeing Strategic Plan from 2019-2022. This is this presentation is part of the of a webinar that UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning hosted on the 29th of April 2020, a couple of months ago, as part of its ongoing series for the members of the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities, and it has a focus it had a focus on the mental health, but also health and well-being. In particular, I have to mention about the issue of the mental health. Now, the city of Swansea presented the strategic plan, as I said, and it presented the initiative that, together with the Swansea University, but also Health and Wellbeing Academy, they are exploring together the science of well-being and implications for the future generations. It also presented the strategic plan, which included the promotion of well-being at workplace, and finally the community empowerment and schools approaches. Finally, the identification of most vulnerable groups, as you can see in the PowerPoint, is a very important point of the important initiative of the city of Swansea, and of course this is also included in the strategic plan. At this point, I would like to mention that during this webinar we also had the participation of World Health Organization, but also the city of Manizales from Colombia, who also shared their experiences. And I would like to thank you very much for your attention. I'm available for any questions you may have. And thank you very much for your invitation once again.
네, 너무 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Now we have been connected to Mr. Konstantinos from the UIL, and he has made his presentation in connection with the presentation by Dr. David Ancho Arena. And Osan City, according to his presentation, Osan City is in charge of health and well-being, and Island Cork is in charge of the same topic in Europe. Osan City is in charge of the Asian area. The final coordinated member cities, the number of final coordinated member cities are 32. Cluster cities share experiences and best practices and share information. And Swansea, a city of the UK, from 2019 to 2022, the city has come up with a long-term plan. I think soon we'll be able to invite Swansea to our webinar. Actually, the city Swansea wanted to participate in this forum. However, it was not possible. Maybe we may invite the city in the next conference. And he also mentioned the mental health. By building the capacity, by the growing capacity of the communities, I think we may address the issue of mental health. The most vulnerable, and then this kind of topic will be helpful for the most vulnerable groups in our society. That is why we need to gather our wisdom and capabilities. And we need to share the best practices through this kind of live seminar. This will serve as a great important stepping stone for the future growth. We should be also part of the strategy planning for a long-term growth in this regard. So we should focus on the capacity building and the mental health of the local people. Thank you very much for your nice presentation. And among the 7 topics, the Incheon City is also serving as a cluster coordinator, and the Goyang City is a coordinator city for monitoring and assessments. So in the 3 sectors, the 3 cities in the ROK are serving as the coordinator cities. Now we are going to invite the next speaker.
The next speaker is also coming from one of the green learning cities. and we'd like to show you the future strategies and visions of GNLC cities. And the first case is Irish city of Derry, and they just tried a webinar which is very similar to the one that we are having, and that was very successful. So the City Mayor Brian Thierry will deliver the welcome speech, and the chairman of the Learning City Council of Deria and Strabon will deliver their presentation. They send us their video. Let's watch together.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Tierney, the Mayor of Derry City and Strabon District Council. As a member of the global network of learning cities, we are delighted and honoured to be part of the Green Learning Cities Conference. Derry City and Strabon District Council, along with all of our partners, have developed a green infrastructure plan for our city and district that aims to improve our green and blue spaces. It outlines a new approach that is required to change the way that we think and value these spaces. It highlights that these areas provide a range of benefits, including help to mitigate against the impact of climate change, improving public parks and play areas, and the development of greenways, as well as protecting biodiversity and providing a range of ecosystem services. This video demonstrates how we as a council have invested in parks and greenways, transforming the local area for the health and well-being of all of our citizens. Once again, we are honoured to be part of this conference, and we thank you for allowing us this opportunity to share our work. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
네, 잘 만나 보셨나요? 데리스 트라벨.
How was it?
우리는 공원 팀입니다. 우리는
The
잘
individual
지을
colleague
것이고
said that we
우리는
are the
반드시
park
해낼
team
것입니다.
and it
거대한
said
도시
that
전체가
we
하나의
will do it, we will
그린
make
러닝
it.
시티 프로젝트로 이어지고 있는
I think the world is being
내리의
connected
모습을 잘
through this green
만나봤습니다.
learning city
내리
project.
시장님 그리고
Mayor Berry
학습도시 위원장님 너무 감사드립니다.
and
다음은 이어서 역시
other mayors, thank you very much.
아시아에서 그린 학습도시의 명성을 얻고 있는 필리핀
And the next speaker
발랑아
is
시의 영상을
the new mayor
프란시스
of
안토니
Balanga,
가르시아
Philippines,
직접
Mr. Francis Anthony Garcia.
발표를
He is
구상하고
with us
계십니다.
today.
Digitalization of communities, step towards a smarter city. The province of Bataan is known for its rich history and for the bravery of its citizens. The city of Balanga lies at the heart of the province, serving as its capital. The physical progress of the city is constrained by its sheer size of only around 11,163 hectares, which are highly residential. Added to this dynamic is the city's diverse topography, consisting of lowland, upland, and coastal areas. Outside the city premises, there lie huge industrial zones, which hinders the city's capability to compete for growth and development. Taking this into consideration, the local leaders approach growth and development at a different angle. Instead of competing, Balanga City decided to complement the needs of the industrial giants by providing them with the talent pool they needed. The city then focused on revitalizing and strengthening education to spur economic growth. Local leaders plied the road less traveled when they decided on education as the core of the city's vision. The concept of a university town was born. To achieve this, the city enlisted the help of renowned architects to create the University Town Master Plan and to identify the University Town area. The University Town ecosystem then followed. 4 goals were set to achieve the University Town vision. First is access to high-quality education. Second is by providing the necessary student facilities. Third is to create a conducive learning environment. Then finally, ensure business opportunities for our graduates by linking them with strategic partners and availability of jobs by matching their competencies with the needs of the industries. These 4 goals mentioned were achieved and are continually being achieved by the city government through implementation of various programs and innovations that promote lifelong learning. These programs have been institutionalized and are done on a yearly basis. Some of the annual programs include Learning Barangay Week, EduChild Parenting Program, University Town Summit, and Education Summit. For a small city, our achievement in terms of literacy and lifelong learning speaks volumes. These achievements, may it be big or small, fuels us to do better in conceiving programs and innovations that will help our citizens reach their full potential. In order to cope with the demands of the ever-changing world, the city tweaked its vision. The vision, Balanga Smart University Town 2030, an established center for global technology businesses. 6 areas became the focus of achieving the Smart University Town concept. The 4th Industrial Revolution is at our heels. Realizing the importance of technology in today's world, local leaders conceived a program to revolutionize learning. In 2011, Executive Order No. 6, Series of 2011 was passed. The EO establishes the Multi-Sectoral Governance Coalition of the city. The Multi-Sectoral Governance Coalition is a conglomeration of non-government organizations and CEOs from the business sectors and civic society organizations. As its pet project, the MSGC, together with the city government, opened the first Barangay Learning Hub in Doña Francisca. The aim of the Learning Hub is to provide supplemental education and access to computers and the internet through guided and computer-based learning, making use of resources provided by sites such as scanacademy.org, as well as various educational video, software, and electronic books. The Barangay Learning Hub also aspires to break the digital divide that existed within the communities. Children and adults now have access to technology, opening a window to bigger opportunities. This project employs partnership between the Department of Education, the Sangguniang Barangay, the Multi-Sectoral Governance Coalition Group, and the city government. The success of the first hub enabled the city to partner with other organizations and to obtain grants from different institutions. These partners and the grants that we have received enabled us to open other learning hubs in strategic areas. To date, there are 15 barangay learning hubs located in coastal, lowland, and upland areas. The barangay learning hubs are not merely a computer resource facility. The hub also offers training in Microsoft Office applications and digital literacy given to women, out-of-school youth, and senior citizens. These trainings aim to elevate the skills of users within the community regardless of age, gender, and social status. Establishing the learning hubs will help people within the community to reach a broader and wider area, making them realize that they are part of the global community and as individual can institute change.
The Balangha of the Philippines was selected and be awarded as the Grand Prize Awarder in the 2015. From the local colleges, they built the hub of learning, and that combines the natural resources and natural environment with the people and the learning environment. So based on that, they are showing us many different and diverse best practices. Next up, we'd like to introduce you the Chiang Rai City Mayor of Wanchai Chongsu Natamani. Let's travel to Chiang Mai, Thailand. Unfortunately, the connections was unstable and we are behind the schedule. So many of the city mayors joined us, but as we are behind the schedule, so they are stopped connecting to the YouTube. So we will summarize every presentation well, and after this event, we'd like to share every presentations with the other city mayors. So that's the promise that I can make. Let's travel to Chiang Rai of Thailand.
Good evening, hosts, everyone in Osan, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Alan, Dr. Alan Kongthai. I'm a presenter on behalf of the Mayor of Chiang Rai Municipality in the position of Academic Supervisor. First of all, I would like to present you the video clip, the short one from our mayor as a message.
Chiang Rai province is one of the 77 provinces in Thailand. It borders the neighboring countries and it has connection to the greater Mekong sub-region. Chiang Rai municipality has a surface of 60 square kilometers and a population of about 77,000 people. The intention of the Chiang Rai executives want to develop the city to be a city of endless happiness and to make the city stand a long time with the motto Chiang Rai City, Livable City and the City of Happiness. Chiang Rai has many learning resources and folk traditions which are still showing identity and maintaining Chiang Rai a city of culture and art. Chiang Rai, there are policies with specifications to encourage learning for both genders and all ages, including monks in Chiang Rai. To go towards a lifelong learning city, leave no one behind. Chiang Rai has derived development of the education system in schools under the Chiang Rai municipality with the utmost determination to make all young people smart and intelligent, as education is the key to development. As Lanat, Chiang Rai gives importance to the development of the elderly and disabled. There are other policies to set up the Third Age University and the Quality of Life Development Center, and expand the establishment of 5 learning centers covering 65 communities. In order to be a center for organizing activities to promote the potential quality of life for all. Another thing that Chiang Rai municipality gives importance is that the protection of a natural resource called Kirichayama, which is located in the Toisanken community, a comprehensive learning center for sustainable city development. Chiang Rai province has been a great opportunity from the UIL as a lifelong learning city. The citizens are given opportunity to exchange with one another. I also believe that education and learning would lead the population to great prosperity and sustainable learning.
시장님께서 직접 출연하.
So the city mayor one time presented in the video to explain and show about the many different policies and the lifelong learning center and the natural resources and the third age college for the seniors. And he highlighted the importance of education for the senior citizens. The city mayor introduced the city in the video, and the doctor also opened the greetings by himself. That was a great opportunity to meet the Chiang Rai.
And the next speaker, I'd like to invite the mayor of Jincheon.
Let's watch the video.
Hello everyone, I'm Song Ki-seop, Mayor of Jincheon, Republic of Korea. Congratulations on hosting 2020 Osangllo벌 Lifelong Learning Forum to discuss the future of a green learning city in the post-COVID-19 era. It is my pleasure to be with you today. City Jincheon is a transportation hub located at the center of Korea. Now it is the only city that showed an increasing number of school-age population, top employment rate, and top per capita GRDP in the province. With such an increase in the number of school-age population, we are now better aware of how important the education is. Jincheon continues to improve the educational environment and residential conditions by making investment in green and smart schools and building a new type of leisure places such as VR sports parks. In early August, Jincheon announced a plan to invest over $200 million in the Jincheon Green New Deal project to revive its economy after COVID-19. The Jincheon Green New Deal project will mainly focus on energy and infrastructure and will serve as an opportunity to build a more solidified network among its citizens. In addition, Jincheon was also selected as a smart education demonstration city in Korea this year. Jincheon will renew itself into a top K-smart education city. Jincheon aims to be a lifelong learning city that embraces all stages of life and creates an eco-friendly future society in which humans and nature coexist. We will also continue to strengthen ties and promote exchanges with other GNLC member cities. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope everyone stays healthy. Thank you. In the center of Korea, Jincheon has connected people with people and regions with regions. The breadth of a long history leads to a glorious path to culture. The path of a brilliant culture becomes a lantern that illuminates the path of artists. The light of a beautiful culture and art is the way to connect the people of the world. Those footprints gather and develop infinite possibilities. The world turns green as we go along the path. The future that we dream of becomes a reality as we go along the way. For some, it is a good place to live. For others, it is a place of opportunity to fulfill their dreams. In the center of Korea, Jincheon is taking a strong step toward a bigger dream, leading change and innovation. Jincheon is the place where you can meet the future. Jincheon is a place where people, culture, art, technology, and innovation meet to connect all the paths of Korea. For a bigger future, the path of Jincheon leads to a path that connects the world. The next way, City Jincheon.
동과 서양.
The East and the West, and Korea and beyond. As a center of the world, we are now making these efforts to realize the Green Learning City. Now, the new mayor of Kashan, Iran, is with us. One of the most impressive things preparing for this event is that many participants have made a lot of efforts to share their experiences and knowledge, to connect people and to connect people with nature. In that sense, as a GNLC and as a cluster city, I'd like to send my appreciation to all the participants. And here's here's Mayor of Kashan, Iran.
Let's start in the name of God. I'm Farishta Nouri from International Affairs of Municipality of Kashan. I'd like to share with you an eco-friendly project which is being implemented currently in Kashan. It is called Committed Ladies from Housekeeping to City Administration. In the first phase of this project, which is in fact an educational participatory program, the women are encouraged to be engaged in some affairs which is related to arranging, cleaning, and beautifying the districts where they are living. The main issues this project is going to address include source-based sorting, putting out the waste in defined times, house waste reduction, removing nylon products, etc. Some of the main goals of this project include promoting the culture of protecting the environment, strengthening the sense of participation in city affairs, fostering the concept of source-based sorting, and so on. The main preliminary measure taken to start this project was the dividing and networking city districts to alleys and neighborhoods and changing the service structure of the municipality to social one. The next step was identifying and electing some women from each district who have a high sense of cooperation and participation, and this was performed through certain processes. They were entitled as the neighborhood's mayors and were expected to do certain duties, including preparing a neighborhood database including the number of inhabitants, commercial and social usages of the estates, as well as household characteristics, holding educational classes for the covered network of citizens on the subjects of waste management, source-based sorting, etc., checking the statistics and preparing the reports related to the items, including the time of collecting garbages from the streets, the regular collection of construction waste, the time of sweeping the streets and alleys, etc. The neighborhood mayors are ranked according to the point they receive for providing the services defined in table number 1. The process of scoring is performed every Monday, and as an encouraging measure, those mayors who acquire the highest points will receive certain privileges, including receiving store purchase, vouchers, and being exempted of municipal toll up to certain rates depending in the level of activity. How do citizens report problems in their neighborhood? Citizens send the reports of their municipal services problems to the mayors of the neighborhood through a mobile application called BlueNet, designed especially for this purpose. After reviewing and approving the problem, the neighborhood mayors send them to the district mayor and the executive secretary of the plan. Then the issues are categorized and prioritized and delivered to the executive authorities to be solved. And the nice measure taken during this project is the introduction of green alleys. This title is given to those alleys that the inhabitants have had the highest cooperation in implementation of the project, and the following outcomes have been resulted. Residents observe the time of garbage disposal, waste production have been decreased, source waste sorting is performed in a correct way, residents keep the alleys clean and neat. The green alleys receive the following services in return: receiving wastes made of recycled materials and installing them in previous garbage accumulation at the entrance of the alley, free distribution of garbage bags, as well as educational brochures among residents of the alley, prioritization of doing public services for these alleys. All of you, green and health living places, and thank you for your attention.
The women's just ordinary household wives change their oil and the world. So it's very interesting cases as the neighborhood mayor. That's how they change their isles and villages. So we can find many commonalities among many other cities' cases. Last but not least, we'd like to introduce you the new city which made a good case practices when we had the fourth General Assembly last year. The city is Villa Maria, and they signed the MOU with many other GNLC, and they are closely cooperating with many Korean cities and other partner GNLC cities.
So, Mr. Martin Gill, the mayor of Villa Maria, is going to join us very soon.
Villa Maria, throughout the 150 years of existence of the city of Villa Maria, learning has been the driving force of development and growth. This is what encouraged us at the beginning of the management of the municipal government to establish contact with UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning. It was through others' experiences that we came to know about other Latin American cities incorporated into the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities and were committed to take decisive steps in order to make learning people's driving force of growth. We are convinced that both the center of activities of any municipal government and the center of the development of a community and a city lie in making knowledge accessible to everyone. The COVID-19 pandemic marked three moments in our community. A first moment of confusion with provisional and immediate solutions to the contingency. A second adaptation moment with the use of technological resources to continue with the programs in the closest way to usual. A third moment of new normality in which other forms of relationship are visualized. The educational programs are adapting to the new context. The use of technological and video communication tools is essential at this time. The most personalized approach strategies allow adequate responses to be given from the redefinition of activities. We are all learning together. As an example, we want to cite two programs carried out by the Municipal Lifelong Learning Institute of Villa Maria. The Mobile Teams program, which aims to accompany and collaborate with management teams, teachers and families in linking students with difficulties to promote the continuity of the teaching and learning processes. In this context, virtual meetings were generated, reflecting on the different difficulties, opportunities and strategies, finding effectiveness in the singular work with each child and family. And the Now the Children, the Neighborhood and the City That We Want program, in which more than 4,000 primary school children participate. They elect the mayor and vice mayor for children, his government cabinet and 5 children's councils distributed throughout the city. The current context of preventive and mandatory social isolation led the children to redefine and adapt the proposals they presented during the 2019 election of authorities. The weekly government sessions went from face-to-face to video conferencing, and the events and activities were performed using social networks. These two examples show how the situation we live in worldwide is helping us to learn. Every day we add something new to the post-pandemic city planning process that we want. We are immersed in a learning process that must be capitalized. We are learning to be resilient. The new technologies, already assumed and embraced by all, will be fundamental tools in the near future towards which we are heading, but they will be just that, means and not ends, because the purpose of everything we do is the people, the inhabitants of our city and its development with comprehensive quality of life.
Thank you very much. That was the case of Villa Maria City. We belong to the Asia-Pacific region. However, Latin American countries belong to LAC, Latin America and the Caribbean area. They have a very solidified network. So in response to the coronavirus era, they are finding new values and they are rediscovering their relationships. And I could understand their philosophies. He said that means is not important. Purpose is important to improve the quality of lives of people and to make their lives better and more healthier. We need a philosophy rather than means. The mayor once served as a lawyer, and his activities are very impressive. Now we have heard many different cases from home and abroad. Now we are going to listen to a short interview clips from the mayors of major 8 cities here in Korea: Gwangmyeong, Gumi, Daejeok, Dobong, Songpa, Suncheon, and Inje. Here are the short messages.
Hello everyone, I am Gwangmyeong City Mayor Park Seung-won. This forum is very important because we are preparing for the post-COVID-19 era. Gwangmyeong City will join the efforts to make an effort and make the result. Not only the health and well-being, but also we have to think about how the lifelong learning will be helpful to respond to the COVID-19 era and post-COVID-19 era. I will work together with you. Congratulations again. I sincerely wish we all will be the main player of the new future. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Jang Soo-young, Mayor of Gumi City. Congratulations on Osan City's hosting of the 2020 Osangllo벌 Lifelong Learning Forum. This forum will be very helpful in proposing a new value and new normal in the post-corona era. And Gumi is also preparing for the new normal era. That is why my expectation for this forum is very high. I hope this forum can become a meaningful stepping stone for our future. The Gumi is willing to make contributions in that sense. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, Osan citizens, great to see you. I am Daejeok City Mayor Park Jung-hyun. I'm always introduce my city as a happy Daejeok. Today's topic is green well-being, lifelong learning. It may sound unfamiliar, but I think it is the most required one. I'd like to download all the videos and presentations to learn more about the best practices to develop our city as good as Osan. We are also the lifelong learning city, so I wish Osan and Daejeok will be a model city for that and to distribute it to across the country. Thank you very much.
It's great to see you all. I'm Mayor of Dobong City. This forum has 174 GNLC member cities from 55 countries. They are now participating online. Now the world is suffering from the COVID-19 and the free movements are restricted. This is a good trial. And I cannot be there. I could not be there because of my busy schedule. However, I truly hope that I truly will make a contribution for the future. Thank you.
Hello, I am Songpa-gu City Mayor Park Sung-soo. Congratulations on the 2020 GNLC Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum. I am very happy to see you all. Songpa-gu City is about to join the GNLC very soon. And together with the GNLC member cities, we'd like to make a close cooperations to enhance and improve the quality of our citizens' lives and create global lifelong learning cities. I sincerely wish all of you have a united mindset.
Hello everyone, I'm Hoseo, Mayor of Suncheon City. In the post-coronavirus era, and the UNESCO UN Global Lifelong Learning Forum is being held. This is very meaningful. I hope that this forum can become a good direction for the sustainable development of the world. The Suncheon City has a good relationship with the UNESCO. The citywide, it is registered as the UNESCO National Reserve. Suncheon City will also open a new lifelong learning path with 174 UNESCO global learning cities around the world, including Osan City. Once again, I'd like to thank Mayor Kwak Sang-wook and his staff members for their efforts to put together the 2020 Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum.
Good evening. I am Global Citizenship Education Cluster Coordinator City, Yeonsu-gu City Mayor Ko Nam-seok. As you can see what's happening when we are having the pandemic, the changes are accelerated at the global stage. An issue from a single area is not limited to that area, but the global issues. At this time of a moment, making our citizens having a healthy and decent lives, that becomes more important. So I believe this forum will be very important. And all the participants from the cluster member cities, please show your wisdom and share your cases. Based on that, we can make sustainable development further. The Global Citizen Education Cluster Coordinator City, Yeonsu-gu City, will join your efforts. Let's go for it.
Hello everyone, great to see you all. I am Choi Sang-gi, Mayor of Incheon City. Due to the COVID-19, we have realized how health and well-being are important. To the end, the making a sustainable and eco-friendly city is important, and we should do our part as a global citizen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have heard the remarks by the 8 mayors, and they are the GL. Most of them are GNLCs. I think most of other cities, they want to also join the global network of lifelong learning cities. And this is the highlight of today's forum, Declaration of Osan Green Learning City.
The four mayors of representing cities, please come to the stage with the citizens. The citizens will join the Osan Declaration by lighting up their lantern. The citizens, please join the mayors. I'd like to start the reading out Osan Declaration. We, the participants at the Osan online meeting on eco-friendly green learning cities, co-organized by Korean Association of Lifelong Learning Cities, Korean National Commission for UNESCO, and Osan Municipal Government in the Republic of Korea, have joined the meeting to share cities' policies and wisdoms in building eco-friendly green cities in the midst of the outbreak of COVID-19. Second, we acknowledge that over the last few months, the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has profoundly impacted the cities around the world and raised the fundamental questions about sustainability of cities. Third, we affirm that lifelong learning is the key to effectively respond to the COVID-19 by helping citizens and cities create more sustainable living environment for tomorrow and have a better informed policy making even in the post-COVID-19 force. Fourth, we recognize that achieving eco-friendly green learning cities requires collective action and collaborative efforts from stakeholders at various levels, from international organizations and national governments to communities and families, convincing that cities have been at the forefront of the issue. Fifth, we believe that cities increasingly focus their attention on lifelong learning for the health and well-being of their citizens and promote the prosperity of their inhabitants. Thus, building eco-friendly green learning cities are contributing to the sustainability of the urban environment, which also has rural and global impacts, thereby ensuring their viability for future generations. 6. We share that partnerships, networks, and global collaboration among member cities of GNLC will be needed to tackle the numerous challenges in the cities and to ensure eco-friendly green living environment for all. 7. We recognize that during the acute phase of emergency, cities have led the way in implementing national or regional regulations and guidelines at the local level. 8. We aspire to provide multidimensional responses to allow our inhabitants to better respond and adapt to the outbreak of COVID-19 with acute provision of eco-friendly green learning programs to achieving sustainable development. 9. We are committed to manage immediate responses to the potential threats, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, in building eco-friendly green cities and to look ahead to plan and resource long-term recovery efforts. 10th, we reaffirm that building the sustainable cities of tomorrow requires to partner with the local authorities, community-based organizations, educational and cultural institutions, the private sector, and professionals. 11th, we agree that leaving no one behind and reaching the most vulnerable in the aftermath of COVID-19 will be fundamental for achieving an equitable and more risk-resilient society. Call to action. Recognizing the key role of lifelong learning as a driver for environmental, social, cultural, and economic sustainability, and acknowledging that lifelong learning is at the heart of the Sustainable Development Goals, we 12. Call upon local governments to share best practices and initiatives from responses to the present and the future crises, such as COVID-19, to allow cities to better adapt and recover and implement learning policies in a way to achieve sustainable development goals. Thirteen, we call upon cities to demonstrate transformative policies in shaping resilient, inclusive, and sustainable societies through more resilient solutions, risk preparedness, and mitigation by lifelong learning programs. 14. We call upon local authorities to strengthen cross-cutting synergies and trigger an international dialogue among GNLC member cities by fostering partnerships, exchange, and collaboration within the network. 15th, we call upon local authorities to assist all public and private actors and stakeholders across all sectors in the recovery processes and in the crafting forward-looking solutions against the crisis. On the last, please raise your right hand to make a declare as showing your agreement on this declaration. Please accept this declaration. Please give them a big hand as your appreciation to accepting that Osan Collaboration 2020, Osan Declaration 2020. It was a solemn and very serious dedication to achieve green lifelong learning cities. So the mayors of the green lifelong learning forums have adopted Osan Declaration. Now we are going to the end of the event.
So this completes all the prepared sessions for today. Before we close the forum, we have shared many experiences and knowledge among the different speakers and distinguished guests. And Mr. Moon Seok-jin, the chairman of Korea Association of Lifelong Learning Cities, is going to make a closing remark. And then Mayor Park Sang-woo is going to make a closing remark as well. Mr. Moon? Thank you for being with us for a long time for this online forum. This forum has been prepared to form a network among the different cities amid the global COVID-19 pandemic crisis. This is a very meaningful opportunity. Now the world is being threatened. I mean, the daily lives and livelihood of everyone is being threatened by the COVID-19. To overcome the current crisis, we should be together. Leaders and the citizens of different cities should put together, and we should be together to overcome the current crisis. Of course, we have many difficulties. For instance, we have fake news because of the political interest or ideology. They distort information, and that causes conflicts among the city members. This is very painful to see the current status. So, I hope that this forum can be a good opportunity to tackle the current crisis. Well-being of human beings and harmony of nature and the sustainability of the planet. For these topics, we are here together now, and I hope you will continue to support for this topic. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Chairperson Moon Seok-jin. Last October, he participated in the 4th General Assembly in Colombia. During that event, when we are making the official closing, it's very honored to close that event. And his closing remark reminds me of that event. We are not here to end this work. All the dialogue that we have shared today will be translated into action and activities. And we clearly describe what is our intention for the global lifelong learnings, not only for the cities that are here today, but also 174 member cities will work towards to achieve the goal that we clearly declared today. This is not the end. We will keep working for the second round and third round. Think globally and act locally. That's the proverb we have to remember, and we have to work together to travel further. So we have to think about that again. So on that note, I'd like to invite City Mayor Kwak Sang-uk for his closing declaration. This will bring us to the end of 2020 GNLC Osan Global Lifelong Learning Forum. Thank you very much, everyone.
Today's webinar is available on YouTube and Google Meet. It will be uploaded to those channels. Once again, I'd like to send my appreciation to all the participants online and offline. Thank you.